Hello there, this is Jeff from E.D.S. Inc. Shandon, and we want to welcome you back to our channel. We've been working on the base for our exhaust fan for our dust collection system, and so you've seen the process all the way through, and this was the end result right here. This is what we came out with. You see our arbor hole through the center, a little bit of a rise on this part here. We have these rises here that are our weldments. That's where we're going to attach the fins or the blades. They're going to insert in that, and then we'll weld them to this base. Each blade will be 12 inches and will be 8 inches high. And I've got a drawing of those. I'll go ahead and leave that there and grab the drawing and let you see that. So hopefully you can see this okay. So this is the inner part. This is where, right close to the arbor will be sitting right in here. And this is your outer fin. And this will go all the way past the base. It'll be even with the bottom of the base and extend past the base about 4 inches. So our hole between the fans on both sides, we're going to have about 20, if I remember correctly, 27 inches of span between our fan blades, the ends of our fan blades. This was assembled so that we have 6 blades, one blade at every 60-degree increment, and each one of these blades are offset from the center by 1 inch. This is my hope of capturing more air and tossing it down the backside along with all the dust and the garbage with it. We'll see how it works when we get all done with it. But so this is what we've accomplished to this point. This video is showing us going from our first cuts in the radius on the sides of the weldments to the completion of this unit as you see it. We still have a lot more to go. We have to weld in the blades. We have to broach a keyway for the arbor in the machine, or in the motor that I have, and then we have to, once we weld in the fins and the blades, whatever you want to call them, this fin blade. Once we weld those in, then we have to anneal this to take the tension off, and then I have to heat it back up and temper it. So that we have, instead of soft aluminum, we have aluminum that's going to be hard enough to go through a spin of about 3,400 RPM without bending. And I don't want my fins to be bending, so we're going to have to temper the whole thing all over again after we anneal it. And the reason for the annealing, again, we're going to have stress points at the weldment. And so I need to get rid of that stress so we don't have cracks later on. So we'll anneal the whole thing, and then we'll temper it back to strength. So that's what the, and once we get that far, then we have to mount it onto the motor, make sure that's all right, and then I have to make a housing for it to bring the air in and expel the air to the dust collection system. So all that's yet to come. So welcome to this episode of E.D.S. Inc., where we take this from a round piece of stock, which you've seen a lot of thus far, to the product that we have here right now. Thank you. Okay, so this is where our next cut will start, and we'll make our next fin. Okay, so now what we're doing, we've made all our placements for our fins all the way around the circumference, 6 fins, each of them 60 degrees apart. Now we're cutting out these center sections. I got a cutter set up here. I made my first pass with it. I'm not quite done with it. I forgot to start the filming with you, so now we're going to go ahead and film this part. Okay, so this is the basic feature of this part. We've got to the point now to where we can actually route in for our fins and then weld our fins in. And then the next thing that I'm going to have to do after I weld those in, I'll have to anneal this and then I'll have to temper it. So that's going to be something new for me as well. I've never done that before, so I have to do some studying up and reading on it and, to get that done. So the reason for that is once you put these welds in here, you're going to be putting stresses into this part. And so I need to anneal it to take the stresses out, and then I need to temper it back so that it's hard, so that when I'm using the fan, it's going to hold up under the stresses that it's going to face. So that's the purpose of it. That's the purpose of annealing and then tempering again. So the next thing is grooving all these for our fins. Then I'm going to have to make all the fins, and I have to figure out how to do that and get that done. So stay tuned. So we've made our first slit for the fan blade. It's at a 2-degree angle like this. It's 1/4 or 3/8 inches deep, and it comes in 3/8 inches to the end and the full thickness. So it's the full thickness of the plate, and then 3/8 deep in, and this is the weldment. So we're going to actually weld that blade to this weldment here, and it'll be welded down the face, and it'll be welded up to here where it will stop. We'll radius the edges of the blade so they'll fit this circumference and slide in there just nicely. Okay, we'll turn this 60 degrees and start our next cut. So for some reason I'm getting off here, and I shouldn't be. So I'm concerned that maybe this table got moved a little bit. Well, we're going to keep on going. It looks like it's cutting straight. It's just not lining up the way it should. Okay, we're going to go to our next cut. This will be 180. Well, that takes us through to the slotting for our fins. Now we need to cut out our fins, clean this up, and do our welding. Then we have to anneal it, clean up welds obviously, anneal it, and then temper it again. So that's what we're up to. Oh, we also have to put our key in for our shaft, and so I'll have to determine what that is. I'll have to pull the motor up here so we can determine that.